the Belle Epoch Deluxe. I've talked about this thing a lot. I've never really showed it in a very cohesive manner. So let's talk about it. Bypass, I have it set internally to always have the preamp on. You can shut that off. Sounds awesome. Here's with an echo. So, what else is there on this thing? This changes the type of repeat that you will hear on the Belle Epoch. There's always the preamp, but there's the EP preamp, or the EP style repeats, which are bright, very tape-like because it's supposed to be. 2 is a analog style delay, which will be more like your standard Boss kind of deal. 3 and 4 add modulations to the repeats. So the 3rd will be a rotary speaker, and the 4th is kind of like a wah-wah kind of deal. And 5 and 6 are the different kinds of delays from a deluxe memory man. I personally only use 1 and 2. Sounds cool, but... So let's talk about the delay. Record level and echo volume are very interactive. Echo volume is how loud the echo is, but record level is how hard you're hitting the tape, which affects if your repeat is clean or dirty, more apparent. So having it way up here makes the repeat way more apparent and dirty, where if you crank it. And that also is upping the gain now into my amplifier. But you could bring this back and then turn echo volume down, bring it down a little more. So you have a dirty repeat that's underneath everything. Or do the opposite. Bring it here, have a clean repeat, and have it louder. That's a very cool thing that I don't know about any other delay having that was really on the real Echoplex, except this was an internal control that you just set it and forget it type of deal. Depth is mainly to affect modulation. So as you can hear, there's a slight difference here from all the way off. You know, it's kind of cool. I don't really care about that kind of thing and having like a repeat that has modulation on it. Delay, as you can see, the knob is not there anymore. Somehow broke off during touring or gigging or something. Echo delay is all the way down at 80 milliseconds. That's the shortest delay you're going to get. Around 9 o'clock, because I've kind of perfected this knob, I think that's about the top end of a Boss DM2. So, you know, you'll use about from all the way down to about 9 o'clock on one of these things, unless you like a spacey delay. Just like an EP3, if you set the sustain high, you can have all kinds of weird spaceship noises and oscillation. So let's actually have a real delay going on. We're going to set the sustain about there, echo volume at about 9 o'clock. We'll have the record level about 9 o'clock. Sounds great. Let's have a little bit more. Now, very cool feature is the echo oscillation button. Normally, when you have this pedal stock, it'll oscillate, so you'll click it on, and then it'll go until you turn it off. But there is a trim pod inside that is essentially a secondary echo sustain, which is your repeats. I turned mine all the way down, so I'll show you why I did that. I have a bunch of repeats happening right now. And I'll make it more obvious with a longer delay. click this on, becomes slapback. Super useful. I use a slapback most of the time, but if I want to play a slow blues, click that off. You know, something like that. Maybe not as much sustain and volume on that record level. But yeah, this is a really cool delay. I usually have it kind of about there, and this will be just barely on. And just for fun, let's use a C harp. This has a very echoey chamber kind of sound, unlike many echoes that just seem, I don't know, this seems more like a room kind of deal for me. So let's turn up the sustain about there. Let's put this up and then let this down. You can get some chest records kind of sounds with this. So you get that kind of sound. If you really turn this all the way down and you have that cranked right up, get a really nice room kind of deal happening. Very quickly, let's just bring this back to a slap. I want to show you what this thing does. So right now it's on an EP bright repeat. Put it to mode 2, you're going to get like an analog style repeat. As you can hear, I'll actually turn this off so that you can hear it better with more echoes. Versus mode 1. I mean, the echoes are way more apparent, which is cool for certain things. Number 3 is going to give you some modulations. It's going to be like a rotary speaker. That controls it. It's a little crazy, but you can use it, you know, if you set it right. Have it about here. That's kind of cool. Go to 4, it's going to be more of a wah-wah. It's actually really cool. Then 5 and 6 are Deluxe Memory Man. It's like a vibrato and harmonic stuff happening to the end. That's crazy. Go to number 6.